Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
Happy birthday to Raw. Happy birthday to Raw. Happy birthday to Raw. Happy birthday to Raw. Yes, Raw is now 1. Can you believe it? 1 year old. Can you believe it? Though, unfortunately, these two sad balloons are about as far as the old budget could stretch to. No matter, in the past year since our launch, we've achieved so much. We've chronicled rave history, interviewing in depth and sometimes even for the first time 90s rave artists and promoters, before then getting you close to your heroes with Q&As and live watch-alongs of our episodes. We've released almost 60 of those, bringing you often untold stories and fascinating discussion about and around the 90s rave scene. And those episodes will now be maintained forever in the British Library Sound Archive for future historians and rave obsessives. Wow, what an achievement. We've also brought you some brilliant new music from some incredibly talented new underground artists, many of whom I'm sure are going to have big futures as we see a resurgence in 90s influenced rave music. I can certainly feel it happening. I'm sure you can too. Numbers wise, we've grown from nothing to around 500,000 listens across all platforms. That's equal to every person in Manchester checking out our content once in the past year. Again, wow. We've also generated a community of 5,000 subscribers on YouTube and similar numbers again across social media. But as we celebrate our first birthday and we reflect on all we've achieved together, including our latest interview with one of Rave's current titans, London Electricity, which you definitely go and watch in its entirety because it covers so much of the pros and cons of the current drum and bass scene, including allegations of racism that they faced last summer, it seems like an apt time for us to bow out. Raw was always meant to be a lockdown music and art project to bring ravers together and give some joy to you guys at a difficult time where we were all shorn of events to come together at. But with lockdown now on its way out and raves seemingly coming back, it seems fitting that we wrap things up. Plus, I've got to concentrate on my day job, which I do have, by the way. And we've also got our second daughter due in September. So I can't really justify putting in 25 hours a week unpaid to keep this project going as much as I might like to. And as much as I would like to continue documenting rave history, I refuse to let the quality slide. I'm the sort of person, if I commit to something, I do it properly and wholeheartedly. I have considered ways in which we could keep the series going. And there are artists that I'd love to interview to help complete this history of rave. In drum and bass, they're Bookham, Andy C, Gachet and GQ, and several others. And then in hardcore, Liam Howlett, Vibes, Brisk, Scott Brown, Carl Cox as well, and one of my all-time favourites, Sharky. We were hoping to end this series with Sharky and Carl Cox, but for reasons beyond our control, I'm sorry that we've been unable to make those happen. Though thankfully, Sharky back in the rave scene, happy and healthy, which is brilliant news. But again, I'm sorry we weren't able to bring you that one in particular because we did announce it, but it's just been we've just been unable to make it work for various different reasons. But if those guys are listening that I've just listed, or you want us to interview them or anyone else, then why don't you let them know, and we'll see what I can do. Of course, that will cost money. And so if any of you out there know anybody who'd like to sponsor Raw and help continue the series on more of an ad hoc basis, then I'm all ears. Get in touch, hello@rawuk.com, because I am going to be ending the crowdfunding because it's not fair or reasonable that I continue to charge people for something that is not going to be happening anymore, or certainly going to be happening on an ad hoc basis. Also, what I'd really love to do is hire a young apprentice, someone who wouldn't usually get a chance to work in the media, maybe someone from outside of London, or someone from a working class background, people who don't know people in the media, who would never get an opportunity. And I would then train them up as a researcher, a producer, a presenter, a PR, and also they would look after our commercial side. That would help take Raw to a new level. And while it would cost a fair amount of money, if any of you can think of any wealthy philanthropists who may be into rave or who would like to change the life of a young person while keeping this project going, my door remains open. Please do send them this video. Tell them to email me again at hello@rawuk.com. Maybe Carl Cox might like to do it. Maybe Liam Howlett might like to do it. Why don't you tag him in this video? Tell him, check out this video. Because really, for those guys who are uber successful, the amount of money that would keep this project alive and get a kid trained up via me would cost nothing compared to what they're worth. So perhaps if you know them or you get in touch with them, give them a shout, let them know about this video, and then get in touch with me. hello@roaruk.com. And I'm also looking at other ways of continuing this project in some shape or form. But being realistic, these things may well never happen. And so that could well be it for Raw today. And if this is it, I'd like you to all please join me in some thank yous to those who've brought you Raw, often for minimal or no pay, usually no pay, to be honest. So please bear with me. And my deepest apologies if I miss anybody out. That's not the aim at all. So thanks first to all the artists and promoters that I've interviewed for their generosity of time and openness. They were all brilliant, and we all appreciate them doing it. Absolute legends. Thanks as well to my early co-host, Chrissy Richards, without whom I wouldn't have launched Raw in the first place, and to her fellow Paul Kingsize, who did some of the brilliant audio editing in the early stages. I'm really sorry that we weren't able to find a way to work together for longer, but I do hope you can feel some pride in what you've helped to create here. Also to my close mates, our graphics and sound man, Sam Newell-Whirlage, and also our artist, Grant Assarts Yanni, for setting up Raw with me, guiding it, their excellent work, and for giving me a pickup when I was finding it tough going. Again, without them, Raw probably wouldn't have happened. It certainly wouldn't have gone on for this long, and if it did happen, it would have looked very, very different. Thanks also to our videographer Sean Brady at Red Cape Productions, and also to Laura Jones at D&B Illustrated for some of her brilliant recent artwork. Do go and check out her stuff. To my researcher and staunch Raw supporter Thomas Orr, a happy hardcore fanatic and an absolute top man. Look after yourself, mate. You are one of the good guys. Thomas also introduced me to Guy McCandless at Area 16, who took over editing duties when we were beginning to wobble a little bit in spring. And I think he gave our content a new lease of life. So cheers very much, brother. Go and check out his work as well, Area 16 Design. Thanks also to Chad O'Carroll, who created our fantastic new website and booked some of our most recent upfront drum and bass guests, which were brilliant interviews. Again, I'm sorry we weren't able to do more work together. And also to Robert Monroe for helping us with some of the commercial side of it and trying to find advertising for us to keep this project funded. Also to Chris Pursuit Murray and Seema for producing our theme music. 14 team has got a massive future ahead of him. I'm absolutely sure of it. And I'm so pleased we've been able to support his early work. And I would say, please, anyone in the industry, support this kid. He's 14. He's making some of the sickest tunes you'll hear, certainly for someone of that age. He wasn't even born in the 90s. He was born in like 2006, 2007. So him making this stuff, he's the future of this scene. So please do support him in any way you can, as well as supporting everyone else doing great work in the scene. Thanks as well to anyone who supported us in various different ways. They include Gary Vibalite, Lunacy, Phil Friction, Thumper, Majika, Nitesh Jungle Techno, Jordan Jarrett Bryant, Rap, and Scorpio, as well as the absolute Don that is Mampy Swift, who I'm hoping to perhaps do some more work with on future Rave content. So do watch this space. But of course, Raw HQ reserves our biggest thanks to all of you guys out there who watched or listened, subscribed, commented, and donated, because genuinely, without that, we'd never have gone on this long. You managed to keep it cost neutral for me, and while I didn't take any money out of it, it did pay for all the costs around it, and over the amount of time you basically funded us to the tune of about 10 grand in a year, and that has covered all of the costs of doing this. So thank you very much, really, genuinely, truly. Without you, there would never have been Raw, and certainly it wouldn't have gone on for a year. And you know what? I like to think I've had a fun life. I've done loads of great stuff in my career in the media, been working in it for 15, 16, 17 years. But what we've all achieved together with Raw has been one of the most amazing things I've ever done. And I could not be more proud of what we've achieved. It's often been, I'll admit, been difficult and frustrating. But at the same time, it's kept me sane and smiling at what was a really shitty time for us all. And I hope it's done the same for you along the way as well. While we're probably never going to experience again what happened in the 90s rave scene, there is, as I said, definitely something of a resurgence going on. And hopefully it's going to continue, because there's some incredible music being made right now by some amazing talent. So keep going, guys. And if ever I can be of any help to any of you out there trying to keep this scene alive, whether you're making music, whether you're promoting it, whatever, if I can ever be of any help, be it through PR, content creation, promotional ideas, please do not hesitate to contact me and ask me, because I will help in any way I can. hello@roaruk.com is my email. I'm going to be keeping the website open, so that means that email will stay live, certainly for as long as I can afford it. Our YouTube page will just stay there forever. The website will stay for as long as I can feasibly afford it, because it does cost money to just keep it there. And if you producers as well want to send through more track attacks, I'll happily keep sharing them. And we might also share the odd other bit of rave content from time to time, even if that's not the same long form interviews that we've done over the past year. But all that said, if I don't see you here again, then I'll see you soon on a dance floor for an old fashioned cuddle and a stomp or a skank. Hey, remember what that's like, guys? Looking forward to reliving the old days of, 16, 17, 18 months ago, and getting on the dance floor and having a good old time. Massive love to you all. Take care of yourselves and to those you hold dear, because love will always prevail, even during the darkest and toughest of times, and we can all do it together. Peace. Lots of love.